Okay, audio should be on now. That should boot in a few seconds. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. And here we go. Yeah, everything's booted well. Green quality should be a little better as well. Yeah, I've made this character a level... I've made it the bare minimum stats to run this. So we are level 170, which is the lowest I can make it. And I want to try and get through it without having to upgrade beyond 170. That's going to be my goal. I might not succeed, but I want to try and keep this as low, like low quality. Not low quality, well, this is low quality. Like, geez, look at this opening. I didn't even have half the things I wanted ready, because I'm a complete clutterfoot, you know? Complete clutterfoot. At some point, I'm also probably... I keep saying this, like, but I need to change my channel name, I feel like. I just need to change it at some point. That would probably be a good idea. I also probably need to figure out how to better improve this voice quality. Maybe this? Filters. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. No, all of it's fine. I probably need to get like the tone add-on. That's what I need. I need to get the tone add-on. That's what I need to do. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna use the Royal Greatsword. I was thinking of sort of like a royal build, but Zweihander lets me like get a massive cold bonus, so that's why I think, because just smacking them also with this attack. There's the savage version you can get as well, where like would be really nasty to have, you know, like really nasty. Okay, audio's coming out clean. Let's just for the sake of it, let's just eliminate all these dudes, just because, you know. No real reason, just doing it. Also, quality should be much better this time around, because I found out for streaming, you gotta have the quality set higher. So I pretty much have set it a much higher quality, but that does mean I've had to make other settings like low. Like it'll come out in like the usual like 1080p quality, but that is just how it is. It's gonna be like that. Anyway, skimming through your text, like, because I don't want to. Like, there's only one character I like in this DLC as an NPC. Well, actually, no, I like Frollo too. So, no, I only like Morn and Frollo. They're the only good characters I care about in this DLC. I somewhat am impartial to the Moog dude, but I just feel like his questline was annoying, which made me kind of dislike him by principle, because he has an annoying questline. Like, legit, I'm not joking. Questline design and how practical it is to do can make a character so much worse. And I actually would have loved more content to be from. You know what, let's actually try the Royal Greatsword, since I wanted to do a Royal Greatsword, so we'll try it. It sort of more fits with our design. Also, this is our character, because of course I must always have a feminine male as my character for laughs. And I'm not joking, I legit just do it because I find it funny to play one. Because everyone plays a woman, right? Everyone likes playing women. I'm like, nope, I'm playing a man, but I'll make him look like a woman. It's like, isn't that like the whole joke with like the voice changer VTuber meme, where like everyone's like, oh, all VTubers are just men with voice changers? Oh, that's not too bad, considering we have like no Erdtree. Oh, but that is bad. Run, run. No, now you run, boy. You run. You're the one running. That's actually really good, considering I literally have the bare minimum requirements for this weapon. I will say that that's actually really good. Like, we're getting a respectable 700 damage. That's what I mean. If you're doing a PvE playthrough, you do not need to go beyond the bare minimum requirements, and you can put your requirements into other stuff. It's only if you're co-oping or if you're PvPing that you have to care about having beyond the bare minimum. Especially if you're using a stats effect weapon. If you're using a stats effect weapon, don't even bother going beyond the bare minimum, because you just go into the thing that gives you a buff into the stats effect. That is really... Oh, jeez. Yeah, I need to quickly get that map because we have no vision. We have no vision at all. Also, I think I can use a bow, can't I? I can use the bone bow on this as well, which is going to be really good. Because then we have some intelligence, meaning that we can, like, get a bit better on the freeze, I'm pretty sure. Like, intelligence affects freeze build-up, doesn't it? I think it does. Anyway, we need to remember... So, we need to go down to the church down here for a fragment. I know that. There's a hidden pot guy nearby, so we probably should go get the pot guy first. He probably is the first one we want to take out, just because he's the closest with all the fragments. So let's go ignore the dog, because I hate... Dogs are the worst enemy type. Like, they're in a type that should just be abolished from gaming. Dogs are so bad. It's actually... Also, why are two Graces right next to each other? I hate that kind of game design. Like, this actually drives me out of the room. If you have a Grace right next to the boss, don't put a Grace in the boss room once you beat the boss. If you don't have a Grace right in front of the boss, then you can put one in the boss room. But don't do both. Oh no. Run away. I can't be bothered to fight you, my friend. This is also a thing I dislike, is that the opening of every playthrough is just... Like, I legit deleted one of my saves to get it, because I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be doing a low run save. I didn't get file that save anyway. It's the same character, same everything pretty much, so it's like... That one was like, I think a little bit into the DLC, and I want to start like right before the DLC, and I get bare minimum my stats. Like, really, the only stats I haven't bare minimum... Actually, no, even my endurance is bare minimum. The only stat isn't bare minimum is mind. And in all honesty, there are ways to pretty much make you not need mind at all. Like certain setups, obviously. But one thing I like about this weapon is the AoE on its effect can catch enemies who try and attack after they block your thing. And it can stagger. And it can knock back, and it's really good. Like, it's a really good ability. Oh yeah, I forget I have pretty much everything. So I need to stop collecting. So there's no real point collecting stuff unless like it's a DLC item. Like that. Okay. You see what I mean? Like, this weapon is so good. Just makes a joke out of that boss. Not boss, but you get my point. Tough enemy. It makes a joke out of the tough enemy. And that's 3 Erdtree fragments, I believe. Also, I do have to slightly over the poise break minimum. I want all of you to run at me. Do it. I wonder if this can jump their stomp. Well, it doesn't matter because they're all deleted. This is what I mean. It's so good. It's an AoE attack. Like, it's just so good. Like, I hate that I haven't done, like, a playthrough of this weapon yet. Like, it's such a good weapon for, like, just dealing with mobs. And if I got a hard boss, just switch over to the, Oh, my brain's malfunctioning. Switch over to the wire-hander, and we just lion claw it to death. Just lion claw, lion claw, lion claw. Dodge any attack that might be a bit too dangerous, and voila. But no, it is actually, like, sad that I don't see this weapon much at all, despite it being a very good, like, just world cleaner. Like, I don't see people use it much. No, everyone's got to use the same 5 weapons, you know? No originality. Like, I don't see a Zweihander, I don't see the Frozen Needle, I don't see the Royal Greatsword. I don't see any of that stuff. And it's really sad because they're not terrible weapons. Like, they're really not. It's merely the fact that they're not the meta, you know? They're not the squeeze as much damage out as possible. But if you're just trying to do a bare minimum low-level stat build, like at level 115, you know, like Zweihander is great for 115 or even level 100 to just have that max squeeze of damage because it's got such minimum requirements where you could probably just pump all your stats into other stuff because it requires so little to actually be effective. I triggered the burst, didn't I? Now, this is one thing. They need to decrease the chase range, in my opinion, on the open world. Oh, wait, never mind. They aren't as close as... I thought they were closer. I must be... Oh, well. I guess I'm just misremembering. Well, they're still really close in terms of it. Like, I personally think in an open world, you don't need, like, two that are a direct sprint across each other. You know? Unless you have this, like, right in spawn instead of, like, a slight bit ahead of spawn. But that's just me being nitpicky, you know, nitpicky about map design. Anyway, that is level 2, one of them. And I'm going to take out the boss here. And I'm doing it mainly because I'm petty. And I hate this boss because I tried to bow fight him. And it is actually angering trying to bow fight this enemy. Because NPC bosses and NPC invaders just straight up read your attack distance perfectly and they will dodge everything. They have inbuilt like counters so they'll dodge after a certain amount of hits. Like a bunch of ridiculous, disgusting things that's just like, it's part of the reason I just can never really say I like this game utterly, and I have a lot of issues. No, I don't want that. I want this. And I probably want to get rid of some blood pots because I want to replace them with heat pots to reset my cold when I want to cold a boss. I think for average open world, this definitely... Like, this is perfect for NPC bosses because I can just do this over and over. You ain't trading with this. Trust me when I say that. You're not trading with this weapon. Never mind, he is trading. I'm so glad I got lucky there. Oh, that can jump? Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, no jump attack for you. I've never seen the AI just randomly jump a pot. Like, that's so weird. I've never seen an AI jump a pot before. Obviously, this would not work against an enemy like Mesmer, but it's an NPC AI. I don't think anyone's going to complain about me playing against an NPC like this. You know? I don't have any gestures, but I'll do this. You know? No, let's have curtsy. What else should we have? T-pose. We can have cross leg. Grab this too. This, and what else can we have? Rallying cry. No. Calm down, maybe? I'm trying to figure out what gesture should we have. Hey! You know what? You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Yep. Perfect. I'll admit, most of my faces are literally just the same face, slightly modified. I have started trying to replace them with unique faces that aren't the same. Like, you can't even see the eye texture on this because it's covered up. But I even have, like, a unique thing that I learned you could do with the clouding, where you could make the eye texture look different with the clouding, which is like really cool. Also, we're gonna give a go at that enemy once I get to the central cross and I get a little more, but we need to get a hefty big pot before we do that. Who's aggroed on me? Who? Oh, am I in aggro range of him? This is what I mean. Insane aggro rate. It's ridiculous. Also, by the way, if anyone wants to ask questions, there is a delay in the thing because I cannot run this due to the heat's just messing with the connection, so I have to run this on like a pretty hefty delay. So you're probably like 20 seconds behind what I'm actually doing. And I'm keeping it like that just because the heat's gonna like mess it up otherwise.
Ah, you're that time. I am Freya in battle. Oh, did you speak to... If you've yet to, you'll find more of the Iron Mikkel. If you're assuming you...
Like, it is on a hefty... Well, it's not the most heftiest delay. I could have put it very late just to have the most stable connection. Which, if it does end up messing up more, I will... Like, next time I will do that. It just seems like normal is safe for now, but I might go a bit more delayed if that is the case. I generally know exactly what I do. I'm not going to go around grabbing every single item, though. I will say that. I feel like that would be a waste of time. We might have to change to Zweihander, though, for... certain enemies in there, like the big dual wielders and, like, the tanky boys. Well, actually, no, the tanky boys, I believe, can be knocked down. So they're fine. But it's more like the dual wielders that I'll probably need to switch to Zweihander for.
But now I'm hardy, which is why to discern I'd rather not
run out your entire text.
I presume just what if you're certain I presume you just
like there is certain things I just want to get all the NPCs done quickly, so that's going to be a thing, and then I'll go through this dungeon. I believe you have to purchase some stuff from him, so we'll just grab whatever. We'll just grab everything, you know, we'll grab everything we can. Because that will allow us to talk more to him.
Things. I for you. Things. Goodbye. Men. I for you. Things. Goodbye.
Because you do have to buy stuff to get certain text out of him. I wonder if I have to rest first before you talk to me more. Or do I have to go to Frolla before you talk? Like, I'm just going to say his storyline is just depressing. Because I don't think there's any way to stop him from, like, dying. Either he the Pokus himself, or he
for you things
ends up fighting us, which is annoying. That actually does kind of like that does actually irritate me, kind of, because it's just more of the FromSoft. Everything has to be like it's really, it feels like FromSoft since like definitely the DLC of Dark Souls 3 have had this weird mentality with side quests where they all have to be like depressing, sad, no hope, no joy, no happiness, and it's just, I'm tired, I'm bored of it. I'm bored of every single storyline just being depressing in some way or another. Like, a character can just have a happy ending. And there's only like one character who really gets a happy ending, and it's the character, and it's the big like warrior woman from the base game, and I utterly detest her as a character. She is like the most entitled character in the game. Like, really, she is so entitled as a character. There are so, like, even in, like, there's so many better characters, so many that literally deserve happy endings who don't get happy ending. Yet the literal person who has literally didn't have a finished storyline for one when the game first came out, so you have to replay the game again to get a storyline. Then our storyline's just like, oh, we sit in the castle and we don't even help you with anything. Like, if you could have summoned her for the final boss, I would have forgiven a lot of the things I disliked about the storyline, but you can't even do that. You can't even like summon her for the final boss. No, she just goes, I'm just going to sit in this castle, good luck with you. And that actually kind of just makes me a little mad. So we just do everything for her, and then she's like, well, yeah, I don't feel like giving anything back in turn. No, I'm good with this. And it's just like, oh, okay, what was that stacker? What? But no, it is kind of just like, it just makes you feel like you're just used for the benefit of other people, which makes sense for the theme of the story, where your character is just constantly used for the benefit of the other people. But then you have like, what was his name? It was the dude with it was the brother who you talk to in the Volcano Mariner. Like, his storyline has a miserable ending, but he's like the most likable character by the end, if I'm honest.
Lady, let us know the town. My name is
Like, he is one of the most likable characters in the base game, and he gets a terrible ending. And actually, it's just kind of upsetting in a way that all the likable characters get absolutely trashed on. Meanwhile, all the unlikable characters really get better outcomes. Like, at least the Needle Knight ends up having like the most pathetic death you can give them, since they just lie there dying, slumped over, away from everyone else. Like, at least there's that. I will say that's something, I guess. But it's just like, it's not satisfying. It's not satisfying at all, you know.
Welcome. Oh, give this. He asked me.
Like, it's not at all satisfying in any way to like.
You enjoy. I lied. Goodbye.
At all.
Right. Oh, you some more provisions, some more his brethren. No doubt these are not. Should you spot? Right.
I will say one thing though, is that I do like the DLC makes it so the brood isn't just all, because by the way, not sure if anyone realized, but this is, I'm pretty sure, a brood in the armor. I don't think you can see it, but you can see like there's nothing in the armor, which I think is intentional. I'm not sure if that shows on the player, but this is like a brood in this armor. Like, I'm pretty sure, which makes sense why like he's wearing the bulkiest armor, because broods they're not the most poisey creatures around. They pretty much get stunned by anything. They also are one of the most painful to fight enemies in the game when they're spamming their stupid threads. Like, legit, if there's anything to justify lowering the tracking in this game, it is the brood. 100%.
Oh, I have to say it's wonderful. I don't think I'll have to think.
The brood are like a straight up
If you find your sleep is
pain. Like, they're one of the most painful enemies to fight, which is ironic that one of them ends up being the most likable character. Also, I don't really get the point of concoction outside of just wanting to quickly, like, just quickly end it. Like, I don't get really the point of having a it's only like usable on one character, I'm pretty sure. Like, unless you can use it on more. I don't really know. Like, is there, like, I might have to look that up, because I don't plan on breaking like this area yet. Like, so we're gonna go back here, I said, right? I guess we could run up to the castle first and just grab the like extra things from the castle and then go through there. You know, just get all the stuff here. And then we can go Zweihander the boss. And yes, I will be Zweihandering when we go through the boss here. That boss, by the way, the Dancing Knight of Doom can be made so trivial. Oh gee, giant AoE, lovely. I messed up. That was on me. I love how I got Mesmer's timing down on a lot of this stuff, but I still, like, everything else I've just got worse at timing. I've just got worse at timing everything else in this game. Also, these guys are just less good Power Knights. I haven't faced Power Knight, but that's like a boss way this gimmick is a thing. But this is just... Oh, look. Oh, I rolled right into that. That was the game being like, how dare you compare this game to a game you haven't even played. We should now destroy you totally and utterly in every conceivable way for your transgression. But no, I'll just say the knocking down gimmick only really is fun for like a boss. Because, like, there's also the furnace golems, and they're pretty much just bosses, but they're not really treated like bosses. They're instead, like, the most annoying, irritating mobs in the universe. You know? Like, that's what they end up being instead. They just become the most annoying, irritating, unlikable mob. But yeah, that's actually really good damage for the fact that it's only upgraded to +9. That's what I mean, like... You don't, like... For the base game, you don't even really need to max out stats. You just need to get them high enough where, like, generally certain things work there. At least decent. There's only mixed maxers who really... Or, like, co-opers that really care about having the highest possible stats. No, I'm just gonna, like... I forgot what I was saying. I actually forgot what I was about to say. I was gonna say something important, and then I'm just like, brain malfunction, doop beep bop biddy boop. I am so glad they fixed these summon signs. Like, I'm not joking. Back in the day, when the summon signs could literally block you from crawling up a ladder, and you had to, like, either reset the area, go offline or something, it made me so mad when there was summon signs directly atop stuff, because it would bug out and you would fall off edges and die all the time. And I was like, can these people just get banned? That was like my ooh, bit of a frame rate drop. Well, at least I'm not getting like mental liquidation due to like the horrendous motion blur. Like, legit, I'm not joking. If you're using motion blur, make sure to set that to the lowest possible setting. It's so bad on the higher settings. Like, it's so intolerable. In addition, I want to get firebomb. I only can make 2. 1 second, while I just do this. Is this a waste of pots? Yes, but I'm gonna be honest. Bleed pots only really work against stagnant enemies. I love how you can see me from all the way over there, Sherlock. Of course he can knock me out of my... I am gonna tell you, this weapon makes so many annoying fights so much easier to deal with. So many annoying fights are just made absolutely tolerable. So many annoying enemies. Explosion Ash of Wars just really make it like so much more tolerable. And the thing is, this is an enemy that like I utterly detest. Like the Black Knight with shield, like Black Knights in general in this DLC, the variant we get, which is, I'm not even sure who, I think they're Mesmer Black Knights, I guess you would call them. Also, only enemy that can't be reposed, I'm pretty sure, are the dogs right now, which is just like, okay, fun. But no, the Black Knights are just like, ugh. They're so horrendous to deal with. Absolutely in every way, shape and form, it's so painful. Excuse me, what? Sorry. I probably will, after we get to the boss fog, I will probably pause to go get a drink quickly of water, since I am a bit thirsty, so I'm going to try and get through, not to the boss, but maybe like a bit decent in.
Well, for you, things...
I wonder if there's a thing related if you find all the forager broods before breaking the seal. But there has to be something more to more, like a way to make him your ally. Because it does feel like you can make a good number of people your ally. The only one I think is like the monk and another character you can't make your ally, which makes sense, I guess. Like the lioness, knight, and the monk, because they are sort of like zealots. But more feels like a character I should be able to make my ally, you know? And it actually irritates me that you can't... Well, he was going to die anyway, because everyone dies at the end of the DLC, because... Oh, no, can't have interesting characters stick around. No, gotta kill them off. Oh yeah, like it's just like when it's just like it's so annoying. Like if someone has a foul bearing, you can bet he's probably gonna die at the end of his storyline no matter what. And it's stupid as always. Like, this attack actually has a fairly good amount of poise, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's actually a really good amount of poise. And can I be a little honest, since we're playing the DLC, well, I'm playing the DLC, I honestly think a lot of the DLC bosses are pretty bad. If I'm going to be honest with you. I only really like Mesmer. And I have to play Mesmer a lot to really get him as a boss. You know? Like, I have to play Mesmer, like, a lot to get him as a boss. Like, he was like a boss that took me a while to really start understanding. I found like almost like there's 2 attack combos that do have glitchy hitboxes, but pretty much almost, unless like he randomly does the weird stutter feint, which I do dislike. I don't think that should be in his moveset, but outside of that, I don't think there's any real attack that's broken in his moveset outside of the questionable hitboxes, you know. And I really wish, like, the game, you know. And we really only got to, like, how many firebombs have I got? Oh, that's because I got a bunch of them. Why have I got so many pots? Oh, okay. I have a solution. It's time to go pot throwing mania. I forgot this save as like does every pot, doesn't it? So we're just gonna start throwing pots like a maniac. Just throw. Wait, I can just discard them, can't I? Please say I can now. Yes! Does it cost FP? No, it doesn't. I don't need the other ones because I only need fire pots to negate cold. That's actually the only reason I have fire pots, is because it's just an easy way to throw them to reset cold. That's literally it. Sure, you can have a fire offhand, but in my opinion, it's just easier to have like better cold build up. If you're dual wielding, yeah, you pretty much have a safer build up. Oh, you thought you were sneaky, but I'm ready with a boomer. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Why have I got that in my head? Random song. But yeah, Bone Bow is also really easy to get early on. It's like probably the second. Well, I'd say it's actually the strongest because you can pretty much hide on the other side of the arena from a boss and just literally co-op it becomes a joke. I have like and I found out why I couldn't find anyone. It's because they're all at like 165 pretty much. 165 to 170 seems to be where everyone fighting Mesmer are. So pretty much I figured out how to help people there, so there will probably be a Mesmer fight in stream hopefully in a few days. I'm about to drop the dynamite on your head, you little annoying. I swear to you, I swear. Why would I one shot? Oh shoot, there's another one. Oh, how did I one shot the other one? Is it like... Oh my... I hate you, mages! You're so annoying! Also, Silverhorn Tender, is pretty much just like a more plentiful version of the Fingerfoot, I think. I'm not really sure. Like, how hard is that? Like, you need... Okay, that... I'm not sure if you could craft tender. I think it might just give you... I'm not actually sure. Like, is the tender better? I don't know. I really don't know if the tender's better. First things first, just get a wraith. Such annoying enemies. Like, mages in general just get so absurd in terms of NPC. But then when you get their spells, by the way, it sucks. All the DLC spells are like, outside of threads, are pretty much bad. Because pretty much only way to make a spell good in the DLC is to have it be either really quick or a multi-hit. And so all the good spells you'll notice are either really quick, all the incarnations are really quick, or they're a multi-hit. So either they cost like 0 FP and you get to spam them with a bunch of stuff, or they just hit, and then stagger. And that... I'm not really sure how you fix that in... Oh wow, he just went no. He just went no to me hitting him. Oh, that was actually easier than I thought it would be. Anyway, let's go fight this dude for the first time. First of all. First introduction to that obnoxious spell. And use the angle to slightly clip him at the end. I feel like my brain's gonna leak out my ears at some point. Because I'm gonna enter... I'm already getting a bit ranty. I'm gonna enter like a full-on rant at some point when I get to one of those particular bosses that drive me up the wall.
In the embrace of
I'm gonna go into a full-on rant about how much I despise the bosses of this DLC. I tell you. Because it's like, I'm only really a fan of Mesmer. I like Mesmer, and that's pretty much it in terms of bosses. I guess Bale. Why do I call him Bao? My brain's going potato. It's already going. My brain's already deleting itself. Anyway, trying to make this boss a joke. Well, he's not really a boss, it's an NPC invader. But in all honesty, they're more obnoxious than most bosses. Firebot. Poke. Oh, yeah. Poke. Poke. There we go. Poke. Oh, no. Oh, that was almost the most Oh, no, I got stuck in a rock. I got stuck in a rock. Here we go. You cannot outpoke me with your stupid poke. I shall poke you from the sky, from the air itself. I have taken Egon's device and become a hail of harpoons to just go down on your wretched hide. And literally that quote is lodged in my brain. Anyone who's heard that quote gets it lodged in their brain. Like, the amount of characters who I've seen entitled Curse You Bale is absurd. I've seen like at least 20 people, I'm pretty sure, who have some variant of that as their name. It is insane how like memorable that like name has become, you know? Like that phrase, everything related to it. Like, he's like the outside of like more I think he's definitely the most memorable character. And then there's certain memorable bosses, but all for the wrong reasons, because it just gives you a... I'm not joking. I honestly, when I originally fought Radahn, when I got to that second phase, I thought I was having a seizure. Just because of how many bright lights were flashing on the screen, it actually gave me a headache. Like, so it just made me feel like I was fighting for longer than I was, and it made my mood just go rotten so quickly dealing with that enemy. It was like, that boss is horrendous. So when we get to that boss, I probably will change over Shield Poke, just because I don't want to waste time with him at all. Like, I utterly detest him and everything he represents about FromSoft's new boss formula. I think he's everything wrong with like modern FromSoft bosses, where instead of making a boss who is like difficult, challenging, but fun, they instead just go, how can we make the hardest possible boss? And forget that there is limitations in the actual gameplay system to the bosses. And I think that's actually the real problem with the boss, is that they forget the game is still limited by certain functionalities, and instead of like making the boss more resistant to certain mechanics, they instead just make him so spammy that you can't really keep up with him mentally. So he mentally outpaces you so heavily to the point where it's just like you will not enjoy fighting him because it's such a torture on your brain that you are drained, you are exhausted, you are fatigued in every single way. And I feel like that is the real issue of that boss, is like he's just so mentally fatiguing. Like to fight him, he's got so much going on, particles all over the place, everything in that second phase. The first phase, I'm not joking, I would not have had much, I wouldn't be the biggest fan of the first phase, but I would still be able to learn to like the first phase if he was purely just the first phase. And then maybe the second phase, I don't know, had some holy damage added to his weapon, or maybe he pulls out a different weapon, or he just decides he's turned into Horolu and tries to punch you. I wouldn't have had an issue with something like that. But when it becomes such a bullet hell, we're just gonna blind your brain with like just spam. That's when I'm just like, I do not tolerate this. I do not respect this design. This design is a tedious torture that I utterly hate, you know. That's what it turns into. Anyway, best bow in the game, right here. And I think we have the stats to use it as well. So I might just show off how memey this bow is. I might just do that. Because really, outside of like one bow you get 8 later on that shoots 8 shots and you only need to hit 1 arrow to get the full damage, this is the best bow in the game. My throat's gone again, so you know what, I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna get a drink because my throat's going, because I'm talking a lot and it's really hot. So I'm gonna get some cold water, probably maybe put some ice in it, and we'll be back in a second. So let me just, well, actually I believe there's a trick if I remember right. No, not this. It's help right, and then menu explanation. Is it menu explanation? Yeah, it's menu explanation. That freezes the game world. So give me a second. Yeah, this is so much better. I'm not going to put some ice in it. I was going to go down and get some ice, but I was like, actually, nah. I'm not going to get any ice. I feel like I don't need to. Oh, one thing I'll say is, let's hope the Elden Ring police never find this video, because they will whinny because I dared say I dislike the bosses of the DLC. Like they do every single time. Like, can I just talk about that, like, quickly? Well, it's my video, so I can. But you get my meaning. Like, I honestly have grown to, like, dislike a lot of the vocal people who play Elden Ring, and very clear words, the vocal people. Because all of them just constantly have something to complain about. Like, oh, you didn't like this boss, you're bad at the game, get good, do this, do that. And it's like, can I just play the game the way I want to play it? Why do I have to be forced to use this random meta setup filled with, like, overpowered stuff to enjoy the game? Like, why is that a requirement? But that's always been a thing that irritates me when I see people who say, oh, there's nothing wrong with the game design. It's like, but literally playstyles are completely invalidated purely due to the fact they just don't have anything good. Like, if you want to use a great bow, yeah, that's going to be a challenge because you need to do so many ridiculous things to even make great bow remotely close to viable. It is not only one of the slowest attacks in the game, like just straight up, one of the slowest. It is pretty much guaranteed that you will never ever really, outside of having an extreme amount of experience, complete the game with a great bow. Because it is like one of the weapons that's just so bad, so trash, that it's like straight up near impossible. And most people who I see use it use glitches and stuff because it's just that badly designed. And what annoys me is the excuses people make for it, saying, well, FromSoft didn't want a bunch of people like exploiting the game and having like the game be a joke by range being so overpowered. And then the DLC comes out and you get one of the most broken weapons in the game, and what is it? A bow. And the bone bow straight up just negates 99% of the game. 100% negates it. Like, legit, outside of shield enemies, you're pretty much set with the bone bow. Because you're going to sit on the other side of the map and just go pew, 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 with one of the least costly, may I note, one of the least costly, biggest bang for your bucks Asher Wars to ever grace the game. I'm not joking. Like, the only thing I think that is as bad as Bone Bow is pre-nerf Rivers of Blood. That's the only thing that has as much a notorious effect as the, like, Bone Bow. And maybe Swish Slash. That also is a pretty notorious ability, let's be honest. But those are the only two things I would argue are even remotely as bad as Bone Bow. It's like stuff like Swift Slash, maybe Rain of Arrows with like Golem Arrows in PvP. Like, but a lot of this stuff is pretty much only good in PvP. But Bone Bow is just good in everything. Like, it's good in PvP, it's good in PvE, it's good in everything. Like, it has no downside. The only thing is ammo limit, but you can like carry 2 stacks of bleed arrows and solo against most enemies. They will bleed to death before you run out of ammo. And oh, you run out of ammo? Okay, just switch over to frost arrows then. Switch over to poison. It's like, there is no downside to using the bone bow. It's lightweight, so you can have a backup. It's like... Oh, was that a stutter there? I think that was a little stutter. Let's give it a second to catch up. Let's just test to make sure. It might just be on my end being a bit buggy. Okay, testing. Okay, yeah, it looks like the stutters have fixed themselves. But yeah, there's like a 20-second delay here. But no, Bone Bow has like no downsides. Little to no downsides. It is one of the most viable weapons in the game. And like, like, it's cool, I guess. If you want to do a bowman build, you can do a like valid bowman build now. But I do get a little annoyed that great bows didn't like especially when like there's literally a great bow associated with a dude who's connected to a boss, and like he literally has the whole quote hail of harpoons, and he doesn't even have a hail of harpoons as his special. Like, could you imagine if his special thing was like a version of Rain of Arrows, but instead of firing up into the air, you fire directly at your like enemy? Like, you get like 3 arrows and you just turn your thing sideways and you just blast all 3 directly into the enemy straight down. And it like costs like maybe 2 like 1 great arrow. That would be a cool ability. Like, that would actually be a hail of harpoons. And it would actually make great bows viable, by the way. Like, that would actually make great bows viable in PvE. Because you would literally now not really require to worry about the major issues that... Oh, 1 second, I can level this up even more? Okay, I got that to 4. But you wouldn't have to worry about the big issues that come from great bows having limited ammo, not really being able to meet the repeated attack damage of, like, bows, you know? That is the big issue of the great bow, is that it can't really keep up with the damage of the other weapons consistently. Like, because every other weapon has an actual wall that can do like 5,000 damage per hit or something like that. And they also can punish off stance breaks. So there's no real like downside to using a different weapon. And like bows at least have barrage. Like say what you want, but at least bows have barrage as like an ability. So you can just use barrage. And then you got bone bow, and then there's also the other bow with now the multi-shot. So yeah. And even mighty shot on the serpent bow like had arcane skin, so it's really good with poison. You know, I'm gonna switch out the needler for like bone bow because I sort of want to, like, as a joke, just show off how dumb this is against certain things. Do I want to do it against this boss, or do I want to do it against I'll probably do it against the Night Lady because I really detest her. Like, the only reason I dislike Smokey Boy is because his camera is obnoxious and there's a particular attack that just, it grinds my gears. I will tell you that it grinds my gears. But no, like, ooh, jeez, my throat. What's going on? It's so hot. Like, wow, it's so hot for some reason today. Oh, I already got that. Do I want to try and fight him on my own? You know, let's give it I'll give it an attempt. I'll give it 2 attempts, and then we'll summon someone in to like even it up. Let's actually try and fight the dude solo, you know? Like, I'm gonna give it an attempt. Like, usually I like fighting with NPCs. I just like the whole cooperative nature of it. Oh shoot, I just got lasered. Oh wow, that's actually really good damage. Oh, and he can't knock me out of the attack. The only thing, I've watched all those videos on how to dodge his attack. And honestly, this seems to be very good at just auto-dodging a bunch of his attacks. That didn't though. Is he gonna freeze yet? No. He is gonna lightning buff. Ow. Ow. This is why no one likes this boss, because he's so obnoxious. What am I even getting hit by? No. He's a terrible camera eater. Should have boy-handed him. Yeah, I'm boy-handling him. Yeah, I'm dead. But no, this boss is just obnoxious. Like, the camera is just so heinous with this boss. It's so heinous. In every single way, it is just heinous. So I didn't want to swing, I wanted the 2-hand. Snap his head off. Fire pop quickly. Snap that in. I messed up timing. Okay, yeah, that 100% hit me. I can't even see! Get away from me! I can't even see what it's doing! such an annoying enemy. I click dodge and the game's just like, no. No dodge it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Such a fun enemy. Oh, real fun to fight. Oh, yes. Your entire camera gets eaten so you can't even see what's going on. Like, I don't even bother trying to fight this guy legit half the time because it's just like, he's not fun. It's just annoying. It's like, oh yes, it's really fun to play the game and I can't even see my own camera. Like, I'm literally inside his body. That's real fun. Like, that's such a joy to fight, right? Like, there's nothing irritating about that in a boss. At all. Like, nothing irritating. Anyway, I'm going to grab Savage Lion Claw. But yeah, there's nothing irritating about boss that just devours your entire camera. It's like, I have to swear, what were these devs thinking when they made these stuff? Like, you know your camera can't handle this kind of thing. Oh, let's make an enemy that breaks the camera. It's like, what is this mentality they have? It feels like it's just difficulty for difficulty's sake instead of difficulty to challenge the player. Instead, it's just like, how hard can we make something before players actually can play? This is what I feel like this DLC is. It's literally them testing the grounds of how far they can push things before people complain. And since most people reacted positively because they've been sort of brainwashed into this sort of weird sense that a game can only be good if it's as hard as humanly not even humanly, just hard as possible. Like, as long as it's beatable, it's fine. Like, they've been brainwashed into this mentality, which I think is a very unhealthy mentality, because you always should demand the most highest, rigorous, balanced out standard you can get from a dev team. That is my view. Unless the game explicitly says this is designed to be unfair and it openly promotes this is unfair, we designed it to be unfair, that's the whole point, we want to see how people break the game. If that's their like mentality, okay. But when they nerf stuff like that does that very thing, obviously their mentality isn't for you just to break the game to beat it. Of course there's certain things they probably fundamentally cannot fix and so they leave that in. But when they break the most explicitly broken, easy mode stuff, it's like, very clearly they had a philosophy when it came to the game's design. And I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure what the philosophy was. It was obviously something that you don't get through normal mental states. Like, they're on another plane of existence, I tell you, with some of their designs. Which sometimes ends really well. Like, you get enemies like Mesmer who are, like, really fun to fight once you go through and learn their mechanics. But then you get Promised Consort Radahn and Camera Eater McGee. Or a billion dragons in a row. Or, like, one... And I'm going to be honest, Bale is a great-looking dragon, but mechanically he's not very fun to fight. Like, he's only really saved by the fact he's linked to a really enjoyable story. In my view, like, that's really what saves that boss, is like the fact that its story is just so fun to play. Okay, time to not do that. Instead, we're gonna melee and not be a potato like an idiot. What is that hitbox? Wow. Oh yeah, that's totally natural. Yeah, the tracking is real on this one. The real MVP of Elden Ring bosses. The most bonkers, and my roll just again doesn't come out for no reason. Why did I even try and roll that camera lock? I know it doesn't. You know what? No, it's time to show how dumb the bone bow is. So we're getting out of range. We're gonna show how dumb the bone bow is. Let me get bleed arrows on. Like, you could do this with great bow, but it's just more ridiculous with the bone bow. Actually, no, never mind. Sacred arrows would probably be better, wouldn't they? Yeah. This is the one you want. So here we go. Trying to be an absolute cancer. If they even reach. But look how ridiculous that range is. That's actually kind of funny. Like, you see how far this bow can reach? Oh, does like next to no damage. Probably because I don't have any of the arrow boosts on, which is a fair point. Why am I trying this with no arrow boosts against dragon? That's stupid. I'm dumb. That was a waste of momentum, kid. You know what I find funny is undeads aren't immune to cold. And what I find stupid is the fact that you do not have any, like, hyper armor on any of that. Oh, why am I fighting this enemy like this? This is a terrible way to fight her. And yet, I'm not going to be able to dodge that because press the game design. And then hitboxes that should hit but don't. But this game makes no sense sometimes. Why do I expect hitboxes in this game to make sense? Like, it has some of the most... What was that? How'd that not hit me? You see what I mean? This game has some of the most jank hitboxes in the universe. Aha, so his head just had nothing going there? I think he just had no head hitbox for some reason. I tell you, these hitboxes are just like... They're in another universe half the time. Okay, there we go. Nice. Poise break. Does like next to no damage. Okay, that does damage. And then smack him with that. Maybe I should have been trying to get him to lower his head and then doing my special on him. That might have been a bit better. How did I dodge that? I don't know, but I somehow did. I get his head in my frame. Huh? That was an interesting hitbox. How'd I get away with that? No. I'll take it. If I somehow survived this, I would... Now the game's just giving me mercy hitboxes for no reason. Like, some of these hitboxes are just like, what? Okay, no, just run away, run away. Don't even get close to that. Just stay out of its zone. How have you not been poise broken yet? I'm trying to see what I'm doing, camera. And I'm dead. I should have known. I should have unlocked. I kept not unlocking for some reason. That was my mistake. I should have unlocked there. Still, at least I know how to beat him now. Like, I'm thinking Lion Clawing him might work. Maybe Savage Lion Claw might be a good idea. That's what I'm thinking. So now we have Savage Lion Claw, we can actually go full on cold. I'm pretty sure you only need like 2 hits of Savage Lion Claw to like proc cold. Too bad he's instantly awake, isn't he? Note, Bone Bow is not good against dragons though. do know that. That was a lot of damage. But that's a lot of damage. I'm going to question that hitbox's legitimacy. But that's the only real downside to Savage Line Claw is the fact that its hitbox is so hard to like retrack it back to target, and if you throw out a second hit and it doesn't hit the way you want, like you're sort of in a bad predicament. How'd I miss that? There we go. Okay, good smack right there. Smack him right in with the eye. And then right in with this. And then melee rush. No belly fire for you, no pork chops, no ribs, no nothing. You don't even get a fiesta, nothing. You lose, sir. Good day. They really need to make the camera zoom out. They really need to make it zoom out against all these bosses. It's so frustrating to fight an enemy where you can't tell distance very well because the camera's just too close. But you can't even tell if you're in range or not of an attack. Because that should also probably hit, but it didn't because you can't tell the range. Because the camera's too close. I literally just zoom it out by like an inch. That's all I asked for. I absolutely hate how he keeps... But I'm just going to make the point, yeah? The reason enemies with weak spots work is because you can always generally hit their weak spot. I'm just going to make the point. The reason Elden Ring dragons outside of a set piece suck is because they keep lifting their head off the ground. But if their heads remained low to the ground, they would not be that annoying to fight. These are only irritating because their heads just constantly are flying to the other side of existence. You know? That's the only reason anyone would even complain about their head. Oh, and that's fun. But like the only reason like these guys are even remotely close to difficult is because their head's constantly like out of position. Otherwise it'd just be easy to like get around them. And they would actually be a tolerable enemy type. But no, for some reason we just have to make this enemy the most irritating thing ever. You know what? I'm gonna do this instead. Because I have time to still do this, boys! And then... Oh, I was about to be like if I did not get that kill right there. Oh, jeez. Oh. That was a fight. That sure was a fight. Woo. But no, I don't mind having that level of stress. But I do dislike where it comes from. I'm walking to a wall, I'm an idiot. But no, I do dislike where it comes from, which is mainly the fact you can't hit the weak spot easily. And the camera is way too close to your character. Now, I think a lot of zones in the game, even when bosses aren't around, could use a wider out camera. Like, especially when you're like just traveling the lands. Like, zooming the camera out a bit more wouldn't be an issue. And then when you go into like general mob fights, then you zoom in the camera. Because there are certain zones where the camera's so close to you, it just feels torturous to play the game. If I'm honest. Anyway, I need to... Yeah, like, that worked. I'm just going to set that marker so I remember to come through this later. So I know what I've cleared and what I haven't. Because then I could just remove the marker after I've cleared it. Honestly, I wish like tutorial videos did similar things where they would marker like what you need to clear. You know? That would be a pleasant change, but don't expect that. Tutorial videos actually giving you tutorials? In what universe? Nah, we're just gonna have a saturated video that's hard to keep up with. We're also not gonna mark any of the locations on the map at all, so you can't be sure exactly where you're going. And we'll call it a tutorial video despite the fact we don't really explain anything. We just go, figure it out on yourself pretty much, because you have to figure out half it on your own anyway. Oh, and then there's the even worse ones where they literally just teleport to a location. They go, it's here. And they don't mark on the map. They just literally show their character marker for like 2 seconds and then just zoom in. Or they only name the location you need to go to, and you might not even know what that location is. It's like there's a bunch of like weird tutorial videos where it's like, is this even a tutorial by technicality? Or is it just, hey, this item's interesting, go find it. Oh, that's something, I tell you. It's so hot. Like, I hope it cools down like this weekend, because it has just been so steaming constantly for like the past 2 months, like since May, really, like late April, early May. It's just been so steaming hot. Oh, you're an enemy? Okay. It's just been so steaming hot since like early like May, April-ish, around there. Like, it's just been unpleasant. Okay, let's see if I can figure this. I guess I could... that could work. Do I have it? Do I have enough to make an iron brew? I can make 2 of them, so I will do this, and then we'll... Oh yeah, I'll put it in like this, so just pause the game and quickly slip it. So we just iron brew up. And then I think I can slap this on. Yes, I can. Okay, in we go. Yes, come to me. Already in bad state. Fireball. And now I don't really have to worry about camera breaking because I'm immune to it. I'm immune to all your nonsense, all your irritations, your lies, your deceit, your unfair gameplay. None of it matters to me. Except for when it runs out and then I get smacked. Now it matters. Like, really, the lightning stage is probably the worst, just because the lightning is so irritating to deal with. That reach is insane! That is actually absurd. And do I get the debuff on this one? No, I don't. Yeah, I think I might get something in at this point. Now I just iron just spam it. Oh, never mind, just get 1 shot. Not 1 shot, but you get my point. But yeah, I think iron jarring it might work. It might work if we iron jar it. So I'm gonna quickly switch this out with the iron jar because I'm thinking like having constant iron jars available will be more effective. So we're gonna make 2 of those, and then yeah, that's good. So we can go in. Ding ding. Iron jar while in there. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Go in with this. Kill. And in with another one. Let's just keep continue attacking. Give me room to smack him. While you're doing that, we can reset the iron jar. Okay, I'm not even sure what kill. Yeah, I'm just summoning in there. I'm sick already of this. Like, this enemy can be beaten. It's just like any interesting playstyles disappears purely because it breaks the camera. Like, that's the big issue with this enemy. It just breaks the camera and it has too many flappy-doodle-doo attacks. They're just not enjoyable to fight. If I'm going to be dead honest with you, it's not a fun enemy. And I will always put fun in priority over, like, difficulty. I will always say if you put difficulty over fun, you don't know what you're doing as a developer. Because if difficulty makes it so you can't enjoy a game, then very likely a lot of people, if they play for the bosses, will just stop playing your game. Which you're like, I don't care, I've already got the money. Would they refund it? You know? What if it's early in the game and they just refund? That's always why I'm like, there should always be some remembrance to prioritize, like, fun in your game. And not forget that you have to make sure a boss doesn't, like, completely ruin the flow of combat due to the fact it has such an atrocious camera. And that's really the big issue with this boss, is its camera's just so bad. Like, there would be no real issue if the camera just was better. Like, you would fix 90% of issues with this enemy if you just put a little more effort into the camera. Because I'm not a big fan of just going in and just doing this over and over, the flip, flip, flip. I would love to fight it normally, but it's just like the enemy's just too obnoxious to fight normally. Like, you can't even tell what's going on there. Oh yes, totally. 100% didn't finish that animation, got it. But no, it's just not fun. It's not a fun fight. It's a bad fight. It has nothing interesting. It's not intriguing. It has good concepts, but they're so poorly delivered due to just the camera making it impossible to tell what's going on. And pretty much enemy aggression is being made the zenith of everything, you know? Like, when did FromSoft decide enemy aggression being the only thing that mattered was a good thing? Like, that is a legit question I do have. Like, when did enemy aggression become the only thing that was relevant in these games? Like, it is kind of disappointing. You know? I couldn't even see what's going on there. Oh look, can't see what's going on, can't see what's going on. Okay, now time just to do this because I can't be bothered. Yep. Trying to play like complete cancer because I'm sick of this already. Nice lag, by the way. Nice lag. Why did the frame start randomly? I don't know. But it was. Just random frame stuff, no reason. But yeah, here we go. Time for the meme. There's another bleed. You're gonna make this even more toxic with your mimic here. And right back to this. Okay, right back to this. I love how I couldn't even see what was happening because of the broken camera. Oh, don't you love this camera, by the way? Isn't this camera so good that it just breaks even when the enemy's not against the wall? Like, it just forced me into the wall due to how bad the camera was. Isn't that real fun to play? Like, yeah, players totally won't just change their entire style to cheesing because of this terrible camera. Absolutely not. Also, yeah, that's hard to react to. But yeah, people won't just change their entire style to be pure cheese because of the camera at all. 100% not. But they were. Oh, yeah. And now I can't see what's going on. Lovely. Yeah. I love that I can't see what's going on, by the way. But that's real fun to play, right? But I also want to note, my number one issue has just been the camera angle for playing the entire game. Because I just can't see what's going on because it rushes into me and breaks my camera. Now everything has an AoE. Real fun. Like, this is such an enjoyable fight. And this is why you bone bow. And the thing is, you can make it more ridiculous by just spamming up deck, yes. And having all the correct arrows, yes, you can make it a more ridiculous fight. Sure. But it's just that I don't feel like it. And also having your mimic here with only a bone bow equipped is kind of funny. Especially if the mimic kid has randomly decided to, like, you know, start spamming the actual war. I don't care. Oh well. Just gonna keep spamming because you're gonna break my camera anyway. The only good thing about lightning is it's like the least camera breaking like design of this boss out of all like cameras. Like, and now this is why you just have 2 sets of bleed arrows, because now I can just keep doing this, and nope. You want to see my point? You got an annoying boss. Bone bow like has like next to no requirements. It's 11 and 8. Pretty much any build can use it, and they just put a stats arrow on it. Like have cold, have bleed. It don't matter. Just do that. Just negates all requirement for intelligence, all requirement for gameplay skill. Just summon in a mimic with a melee weapon, quickly switch over to the bone bow, so like put everything else in storage so you only have like maybe a handful of weapons in your inventory, you know, and you just make an entire joke of the fight. That's just the point I want to make. Yeah, you can just make an utter joke of the fight. You can just make an utter clown show of the fight, and I don't feel one bit of guilt for doing it. I feel zero guilt for it. I feel no guilt for playing like this. I feel no guilt for behaving like this. I hate that boss. I hate a majority of the boss design, because the majority of it sucks. It's all camera breaking, like, and that's the one thing I dislike about Mesmer beyond like certain janky hitboxes and certain tracking is his camera breaks on certain things. But like, really, an enemy that 24/7 camera breaks is one of the most obnoxious, aggravating things you can do in a game. So just constant camera break, camera break, camera break, camera break, camera break. It's like, can you shut it with the camera breaks? It's tiring, it's sickening, it's irritating, and no one enjoys it. Like, I do not honestly believe they went through with a basic normal build against any of these enemies. I have a strong feeling they went through with some meta rubbish build, and just that's what they designed the DLC around. I have a really strong feeling that's what they did. I have an ultra strong feeling, I'm going to be honest. Also, you know what irritates me with the whole thing here? Like, unlocking this, is the fact you... Unless you actively go out of your way to go up here, like, there's no real point going up here again. Because, like, you get teleported by the thing in the... what was I saying? You get teleported after you burn, the weird idol thing, which, in all honesty, why can't you just take it here and just use the flame to burn it from here? Like, that would have made more sense. It's just like, it just feels like another reason to have a pointless area that has no reason to exist and just forces you to do something else. Because... You could tell I'm annoyed, can't you? You could tell I'm a little bit annoyed. Because it honestly is. It honestly is just irritating, the design choices in this DLC. Like, it actually baffles me. Certain design choices being a thing. It's like... Why? Is what I think a lot of the time. Just why? Oh, that didn't work. I was hoping to, like... do that. But no, it is just like... It's just like... I personally just don't get it. Like, why... Like, I don't get it. Like, your most casual game and you have the most very clearly designed to frustrate veteran type mechanic or enemy design, you know? And I don't expect the DLC to be a cakewalk. I've said I like Mesmer. I've pointed out how I think Mesmer is a good enemy. But, like... Not every enemy can be Mesmer, and not every enemy should be, like, Radagon. Not every enemy should be Melania. Not every enemy should be, like, having... and this is a thing that plagued the base game, where every enemy just had everything in their kit. Or they were just tedious enough where it felt like they might as well have it. And I feel like that's why I feel like the game definitely got massive... Swallowed my own tongue. I feel like that's why the game got like massive backlash on its DLC when it first came out, because it just pushed the tolerance beyond it. And then of course you see the positive review bombers coming in after like a week, where they just post a bunch of mean posts with likes, and they have like no hours on the game or stuff like that, because yes, complain about review bombing only to review bomb yourself. It's totally going to fix the problem, not just make people dislike you more. And the thing is, it's like, I'm making a clear statement when I say review bomb here. I do not mean you have something you happen dislike in a game, or like the dev of a game says something you dislike. I don't view that as a review bomb, because that's an actual thing related to the game. I'm on about when, like, it's very clearly nothing related to the game and you're just disliking it because of something completely irrelevant. Like, either it's a game type you dislike, or people are generally not as positive as you towards the game, and so you're like, how dare you not like my game? I'm going to make an alt account to like it. And it's like, it's already got 70% likes. That's pretty good in my opinion. Like, that means the majority like it anyway, and it's just, it's weird. It's weird, like, the mentality that 100% must like it or else, or 90% must like it or else. It's like, why? I'm gonna be honest, it is just weird. The mentality of people nowadays. Is it just like too much internet? Is that it? Is it just internet brain? Is that why these people are like this? Like in any corner of the internet? Is it this, like, what is the problem? Just massive amounts of internet brain? Like, they just don't get offline enough, or they play too much video game. Ironic, since I play a lot of video game myself, so you'd think I would have this internet brain where I'm just like... I actually was like that, if I recall right. I used to be like that, where I had massive internet brain. But it changed really when I just started realizing I wasn't enjoying myself as much. When I overly obsessed over certain things. Like, the whole internet brain, I found, ruined my enjoyment of the game. Like, tremendously. I do question. The amount of poise they've given NPC invaders, I tell you. Or NPCs in general. Like, it takes so much to, like, break that poise. Okay, smack you on. I got real lucky right there. Boom! Oh, gee. That was close. That was real close. Is there even a difference between these two swords? Like, no, it's just a phalanx that really already exists. It's just slightly bigger and it's like a pointless ability that doesn't need to exist. But no, Bone Bow turns so many encounters into jokes, I tell you. Like, legit. I might just use Bone Bow and, like, Night Lady as well. Season 1. Just because it's, like, really the first two bosses of this DLC are just so bad. They're so bad. Like, I feel like that's honestly why most people dislike the DLC in general. It's just the first two bosses are, like, probably the second and third worst boss in the entire DLC. Radahn's the first, by the way. He's just really bad. Radahn is abysmal design. Like, Bale is like, he has questionable design, but he's designed to be like fought with help. So he's sort of forgivable, you know, in terms of his design. Because he's very clearly meant to be fought with a summon. Like, he's very clearly designed to split aggro. Like, the way his moveset works is very clearly designed with split aggro in mind. So stuff with him, I very much can, like, forgive that kind of design philosophy with. And, like, he's a one-off boss, like, where it's like, oh well, you know? It's sort of your reaction. Like, oh well, if he's designed a bit like that, you know? Do I have any healing stones? Do I should, because I'm pretty sure there's like everything on it. Yeah, it has healing stones. So we're just gonna sit here for a bit and just heal up. Like, nice little fire. Just sitting here, looking at the fire. I will probably wrap things up after I beat the next boss, and then I think we'll probably go to the coast area, clear that out a bit, unlock like certain graces, and then we'll probably go to the upper area. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, you can't block the AoE bait. And now get looped to death. How'd that feel, mate? No, very pleasant, right? We should probably grab wing stance while we can, shouldn't we? Because I actually found out where that was. Yeah, I'm definitely going to wrap after fighting this boss. It's like way too hot to play any longer than that. Like, it is, like, I feel like it's steamed ham. You know, like, I feel like an absolute steamed ham right now. Like, it's so unpleasant. Oh, jeez. There we go, wing starts, now we can teleport back. Like, you sure you could go across the bridge and back and grab an item, I believe, like it's like a stone. You can do that, but is there really any point? Nah. Yawny yawn. Okay, there should be you. Needle Knight. Do I want to go cold or bleed? Cold's quicker to build up. I think there's also the cold, but yeah, there's that. We can do that, and then we can put fire on it, and we can make it a bit meat. Bit of meat. Oh, so you can't bulk exploit with them. Oh yeah, I forget they have the auto-punish range speed slash. That's their second version of the slash, by the way. They have two versions, and that version is pretty much to punish people for healing. Like, it will most of the time automatically trigger. Oh shoot. Just run away. Turn around, fire. Okay, just do fire with that. Just to make sure it hit. But you see how much a joke this boss becomes? Like, when you can just hide on the other side of the arena and just spam arrows at them, like, in the most memey way possible. Like, this is not a serious boss at all. This is not a serious boss. Like, when you just play like this. Like, this, in my opinion, is the boss you can most make a mockery of. Oh, shoot, that was me being stupid. Heal. But this is, like, the boss you can most make a mockery of. When you just decide randomly just... Yeah, I'm a bowman now. Also, did we actually bypass that, like, cross-stage animation? Never mind, there it is. There's the cross-stage animation. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now I need to be careful because I know the boss is soon gonna activate their end of life. Insta kill. Oh, thank goodness! They got staggered! Get him! Get him! Get him with the bow! But obviously there's ways to make this more effective. Anyway, you know what to do now that they're almost... Oh, quick, 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 quick. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Mimicked here, now. Now it's time to pull up Cheese 2.0. Cheese 2.0. There's another phase. I'm the real boss right here. I'm a second phase of distraction. Oh, I'm out of items. Which arrows? Which arrows? Which arrows quit? There's a second phase! Oh no. You can't stop me. Keep shooting, Mimic! Keep shooting! Yes, now they're in the loop. Oh no. Oh no, I was like, no help, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Wait, hear what? Dude. Oh, that. I'm so lucky that didn't hit. They have a second one! Oh yeah, that totally hit me right there, right? That totally wasn't jumped perfectly. Oh, jeez, I should have known. Should have known that was going to happen. I should have known. Why wouldn't it? But yeah, there is obviously... I could have made this stronger by having all the bow equipment and stuff to increase its damage and stuff. And also having more decks, that's also a way to improve it. But I should have known they were going to have a second moon slam. Why did I not predict it? Maybe because it's stupid to have them do that twice? You know what? Have this out so the Mimic uses this and go in and awaken the Mimic immediately. Yeah, no, I disagree. Okay, and let's just go Bowman mode. Yeah, I think there is ways to make it easier with that. Like, it would be much easier if I just didn't summon and just had Mimic instead. Because it was just like, they wouldn't get higher negation rate. But I like just making this boss a complete joke. I should have done this from the start. I utterly have a distaste for this boss, I'm going to be honest. And there we go with the undodgeable variant that happens if they get hit by certain attacks. Or at least it's undodgeable because it messed up the frame animation. Okay. I forget that goes to people. One, two, three. Oh, they just do it twice? Oh, just, yeah, let's do it a second time. Why not? That's balanced. Just double, like, and yeah, people going, oh yeah, this boss ain't totally on something. It does a double moon? That's not normal. I think it's got sick because I've beaten it, like, through bow abuse, like, twice, and this boss is like, I'm sick of your bow abuse. I'm sick of you cheating me. I am coming with a vengeance. But no, this makes this like infinitely more easy. Oh, and you know what's even more cool? I can just slap another frost on there and just go boop, 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 boop. Oh, sorry. You want to kill me? Oh, shoot. It's trying to kill me. Oh, yes. Yay, the stagger and the not reading my input for roll when I click to roll and the game kills me because of it. Don't you love when it eats your inputs constantly? Like, I'm actually getting sick of input eating. Like, am I the only one who gets this all the bloody time? Like, every time I play this game, I at least get like 4 times a day. Where I'm just doing something and then boom, my Oh, so apparently that doesn't let. So, is it literally just sticks? Are you joking? Is that actually a thing? How do you not account for that? How do you not account for that, FromSoft? No, it doesn't account for flick steps. I think that's what's happening. I don't think the devs accounted for flick steps at all. Which is utterly absurd if I'm honest. Why would you not account for that? Like one of the most common movement techniques in gaming. Okay, now I'm gonna run to the other side of the universe while you do that. Imagine if I just had a tower of endurance by doing this. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this because I don't have to worry about resetting or switching over my thing. I can just bleed and match. And like blood does do more damage, and also my AI has like infinite bleed. why don't I always get caught by that? I used to never get caught by that. Like, I managed to always, like, find the time, and now I just always get caught by it. But then again, the times I did get hit by it was when it just full-on glitched down, like, went sideways on its axis. Like, that was an annoying experience. Full stamina just to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it's just spell blood. Also remember, have a little bit of stamina. Yeah, I'm just not going to engage with your mechanic. If you just want to be an annoying enemy, I'm just not... Like, because I have no want to engage with them. Like, that's the thing. If you're a developer, you have to make me want to engage with your boss mechanics, in my opinion. Like, if you fail to make me want to engage with your boss mechanic, that's your failure as a developer, in my view. Like, it's your failure as a developer to make me not want to engage with the boss mechanic. I'm dead. Oh, I somehow survived! That is strange. Usually that's a guaranteed death, isn't it? Oh, there's the heal punish. Oh, I'm already out of that lead, so time to flip arrows. Yeah, of course. It hit me in my toe, so that kills me, despite the fact the dragon breath that blatantly hit me doesn't kill me. It's just so boring to fight them. Like, I don't want to melee with them because they're not fun to melee. I don't want to range with them because they're not fun to range half the time. It's just a boring boss all around. Like, I honestly don't get the praise for this boss. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't get the praise. And I'm just going to waste this quickly just so it's out of my inventory so I can just switch in Mimicked here. Like, I honestly just don't understand the praise for this boss. I don't think it's a good boss. I don't think it's an interesting boss. I think it's actually quite dull and unoriginal. It's literally just a repeat of a better boss that they did in a previous game with the dancer. Oh, okay, so I can't even dodge that with, like, that load. I love how I can dodge that, though, but I can't dodge speed. Make my Mimic tier melee so I can just have them be there to, like, you know... Yeah, that's just an arena wide, and I also clicked dodge, and it ate my input again. Ooh, really fun. Like, I'm just sick of this game eating my inputs, or, like, detecting another press when I didn't click a second press. Like, the amount of times I've been screwed over in this game because the game detects an extra press when I click it, like, once or twice is actually legit aggravating. Why? What was that? You all saw that, right? It just shot into the sky. This enemy needs its animation stick. It should not be having flinches that change the trajectory of its attack. It's just too prone to bugging out. It's so bizarre. But you think this would have been fixed by mere beta testing, right? So I legit question how none of this was, like, found in the beta test. Okay, get far enough away. 1, 2, 3. Immediately back to firing quick. We gotta bleed this trash out before they fire a second moon off. I knew it. Come on, bleed, 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 bleed. Nope. Do it! Bleed them already! Just die! I have no respect for you. You gutter trash boss. Come back with better animations. Come back when your animations don't go sideways and diagonally because you got hit by a particular attack. Come back when your moon thing does it nearly one shot every time, and apparently you can hit it twice in a row. I detest this boss. Like, I dislike Radahn because of the second stage. I detest everything about this boss. It's not that it's hard. It's not that it's difficult. It's just not a fun fight. It has nothing enjoyable about it. It's literally a reskin of a better boss done worse. And that's what makes me mad. That's actually what makes me mad. It's a reskin of a better boss done worse. They've proven they can do that design well with the Dancer. And I'm not a big fan of the Dancer yet, but they've proven that Pontiff Sullivan and the Dancer, they can do this boss fight well. You know? So why don't they? Why don't they do it better? That's what makes me mad. Like, legitimately, that's what makes me mad. Is that they've proven they can do this fight better. They've proven they can do this fight good. And for some reason, they choose not to. They choose to do these annoying, irritating fights where they have arena-wide AoEs constantly. You gotta have that super tracking laser beam, right? You gotta have another variant that's designed to punish healing. It's just like, I personally don't get the appeal of such game design. But I like the world design of the game when it's not going down a hill anyway, because, and I mean that in a literal sense of you going down a hill. Like, outside of that, I love the game design. I love the world design. I do think the coloring's a bit bland. I will say that. I think the coloring could use a lot of tune-up and stuff like that. But I will make the point. I will make the absolute point. Even if the coloring does get a little bland, even if the game design can be a little questionable at times, I will openly say the world is beautiful. It has so many gorgeous things. It has so many gorgeous designs that it actually angers me more when, like, I see the designs being, like, mocked on by just blatantly trash design choices in the bosses. So I go through this beautiful area or something, and then boom, we have trashy boss to bring it down, you know? You know? Like, I think I have a little right to get irritated at that point. I think I have a little right to get irritated at things when we have such a beautiful world design that's just brought down by the trashiest, most obnoxious boss design, you know? How I missed that, I don't know, but missed it somehow. Oh, I need a teleport. And you can't even... Can you even repose tonight? I don't remember if you can even repose them. I don't think you can. I think they're unreposable. Oh, I forgot about the irritating teleport he does. Oh, there we go. I was wondering when it was going to come down on me. But no, like... Do I get anything? I'm pretty sure you're meant to get an item from that, right? Yeah, you get Smithy Stone. But I'm not joking, like... My tolerance for certain things over the years, I'm just going to be honest, has decreased massively. Like, I've just become less tolerant about certain things. And maybe that's a me problem, maybe. But I've just found I will accept things a lot less the older I've gotten. I will be happy about things a lot less the older I've gotten. I find myself more displeased about things the older I get. Like, it definitely is a bit of an age thing where I've just played more games and I've played more things and I've seen developers lower their standards massively in terms of game design. At least in my view. I feel like this game in terms of game design is very questionable at times. Like, I've been meaning to play Sekiro. I hear Sekiro is a fun experience, like if you like a more parrying-based gameplay. And I'm not a big fan of parrying, but it does sound like something different, you know, from FromSoft. So, like, it's like Armored Core. I really enjoyed Armored Core because it was something that wasn't feeling stagnant, it wasn't feeling repetitive, it felt like something completely new. Which is why I really enjoyed it. But really, Elden Ring just feels like they decided to take a step forward, but then two backwards in terms of game design. Like, and that's like a thing I was saying in the main game, you know? If there was a lot of game design, I was just like, okay, that's a interesting choice. Like, there was a lot of moments in the base game where I was saying that. In the DLC, it's like, it's the same with the bosses. It's like, I don't get how you can find a lot of these bosses acceptable game design. Especially since a lot of them just have so much going on, you can't even think. Or they're just like an inferior version of a better done boss. Mixed with another better done boss, slapped together, and then they pretend like that's actually good game design or good boss design when it's literally just a better boss done worse. At least that's my view on it. That's my view on it. It's like they just take better bosses and just for some reason decide to do it worse. And it just feels so weird. It's like, oh, why not just do the same design completely again then, you know? Like, why not just completely do it again? Like, that's the thing I'll never get, is like, why not just do the exact same design again, better, if you want to do that boss? Why not take both individual designs and just separate them, keep them separate and just do it better? Do it more fancy if you want. But no, don't just slap everything together. That's one thing I just detest, is just the constant slapping everything together over and over. Just slap it together. Just take a boss, slap it on. Take a boss, slap it on. That's honestly what all bosses feel like. It just feels like you slapped a bunch of bosses together and called it a day. And it's just weird and ridiculous. And you're allowed to like this, by the way. Like, I know some people are going to act like I'm saying you're not allowed to like it. No, you're allowed to like it. I'm just going to give you a side eye, you know? I'm going to give you a bit of side eye, like, really? Really? That's more what I'm going to respond with. Which I think is fair. Like, someone's allowed to give me side eye because I dislike it. I don't feel like you're compelled to have the same opinion as me. I'm not like one of these rabid forum people who will complain and then get annoyed when someone disagrees, because it's like, I've just given you my opinion. Of course you're going to disagree if you don't agree. It's like, duh, Sherlock, duh. And honestly, I find it hilarious when people get mad that someone doesn't agree. It's like, you just put your hot take out there, you know it's the unpopular opinion. Why are you getting mad when someone doesn't agree with you? And I feel like that's the big mistake a lot of people make. Is that they feel unconfident in their take if people don't just agree with them. It's like, if you truly hold an opinion, it shouldn't matter if someone agrees with your opinion. It shouldn't matter if someone likes your opinion. It shouldn't matter if someone thinks your opinion is right or good. Your opinion is your opinion. You don't have to change your opinion for anyone else. If anyone ever tells you that your opinion is wrong, just point out how it's an opinion and an opinion can't be wrong. Like, an opinion can be uneducated, totally. You can have an uneducated opinion, you can have an absurd opinion, you can have a stupid opinion. But an opinion, due to being an opinion, can never be wrong. Can it be disgusting? Sure. Can it be any of those types of things? Sure. But it can't be factually wrong. Because it's like, it's an opinion. Obviously, there are people who will claim something is an opinion where it's very clearly not. Which is like a thing that can happen, but it's like, it's not as common. It's not as common as like just straight up opinions as being stupid. You know? And so if you think my opinion is stupid, all the power to you. I'll think your opinion's stupid. Congratulations. What are you going to do now? We're at an impasse. Or whatever the term is, you know? We both think the other's opinion is stupid. That's just what I find amusing. It's like, they never have a response when you just go, I think your opinion's stupid. You know? Like, it's just hilarious when people, like, get utterly confused when you say, I think your opinion is stupid. I think your opinion is dumb. And your response is, and? And? You think my opinion sucks? Whatever. I don't care. My opinion isn't validated by you. And that's really a thing that seems to baffle a lot of people, is when you just go, my opinion is not validated by your feeling on my opinion, you know? And I feel like more people need to be confident in their views in that way, instead of just wanting everyone to agree with them. You need to instead be like, no, these are views I actually hold. These are things I actually believe. These are my actual feelings about something. I'm not just going to change my mind because someone disagrees with me or because the majority disagree with me. No, hold your opinion steadfast and be like, nah, this is what I legit feel. This is how I legit feel about things. This is how I legit take a certain thing. I'm not gonna like let someone like invalidate what I believe purely because it's not popular or whatever. But I feel like one of the biggest issues we see nowadays is sort of, I forget its actual name, but it's sort of like the appeal to authority fallacy, only with like popularity. It's pretty much that. Like, it completely infests things nowadays, and it's just like, who cares if it's popular or if it's well liked or if it's like the agreed on thing, you know? Who actually cares? Your opinion should not be affected by, is it popular? That is one thing I always say, is it's not your actual opinion if it's affected by what is popular, you know? Because obviously it's subject to change if someone disagrees. Like, if you hold an opinion, even if people disagree, then that is your actual take. You know? And I respect, depending on, like, there is certain exceptions, obviously, but I respect someone who, even if their take is unpopular, is willing to stand by their take and publicly say their take, even if they know the take might get people to ridicule them, bully them, or whatever. Like, I respect people more if they are willing to stand by their take, you know? How do you get over there? Like, I'm wondering, how do you get over there? There's a ladder down there. How do you get back there? Oh, I see. I see, okay. Oh, I can teleport there. I didn't know there was like a ladder there. I didn't realize that. I've been missing that item for a while. It's amazing how like having a higher view can give you so much perspective over stuff. And again, when exploring, this was what a zoomed out camera would help with. Come at me, boy. And then he just falls. He's stuck. Look at that wee lad. Oh, my voice. Ooh. Look at that wee lad, he's stuck. And it's a smithing stone. Of course. Of course it's a smithing stone. Why wouldn't it be a smithing stone? Well, at least it's a smithing stone 8 and not number 1. I really find it confusing now, like, straight swords are constantly poise breaking. What is... Anyway, yeah, this is like a back area I didn't know about originally, but I discovered this by like just looking around for the chest. Anyway, we probably should go and get like the Grace, and then we can wrap this up. Really good if you want to tank Mesmer. Flame Drake 3 mixed with the elemental shield block thing, mixed with the elemental shield talisman, mixed with the shield talisman. All four together is really good. Sure, you can have turtle talisman, but if you got like, if you're fighting Mesmer as a shield, just put a billion endurance on your character, because all you're doing is shield poking anyway. Just health and endurance and like a status effect like bleed. That's generally what you're doing if you're shield poking enemies. You don't really need max damage, do ya? Oh, you can jump that? Wow. Like, there's a high enough jump to dodge that. Easy money. I wish instead of just being a regular omen, they had like their own unique attire, so you could have alternate attire omens. I wish that was a thing. Like, that would be kind of cool if there was like alternate attire omens. But that's just the thing about the DLC. You can reuse enemies. Just give them a bit of a different look, like the shadow people and that. Like, different looks really can just make a game feel more alive, you know? Anyway, it's like 10 o'clock now, so I'm probably gonna just rush through this last bit because I'm a bit tired and I want to eat something. So we're gonna just rush through this last bit, grab what we need. I do like this little fort area though. It does become a quick run through once you know what to grab and where to grab it. Like, I have missed one chest, I will say. But I could always do that off camera. Like, it's like, I'm pretty sure in my original playthrough, I definitely did it on camera. Or is it? No, it's down here, so we can just go down here, can't we? And just grab it anyway, so we can quickly just run down here. Grab the item. No, never mind, it's not this way. Oh. Where is it then? I know there's a down path somewhere. Oh, is it here? I think it might be. Yeah, it's down here. I really hate how they've made straight swords so poise breaky. I've seen so many people just exploit that now, just two-hand great like straight swords just to completely outpoise someone using like an ultra great, which is absolutely absurd in my opinion. You should not be able to outpoise an ultra great with a straight sword. Like, that makes ultra greats just next to useless outside their actual war potentials, you know? And sure, I'm pretty sure if you have the most tanky, but even then it's like, it's just like, if I don't know. I honestly don't know how to feel about some of this stuff. Sometimes it just feels like it's just like balances all over the place, you know? And you just feel like, I'm not sure really how to take it. Anyway, with this grab, we can wrap this up now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, people. Please remember to, you know, like, comment, share all that, all the known stuff that everyone says. Thankful to anyone who's watched this live, to anyone who comes and watches it after. And I'll see you whenever I stream this next. I probably won't do it tomorrow just because it's so hot. and it was so exhausting to do this, like streaming 2 days in a row. So I'm probably going to take like a day or two off, and then I'll probably do another stream. I'm probably going to be streaming a lot more instead of doing recorded content, unless I like have something explicitly in mind to record. Maybe I'll stop being lazy and I'll like do some highlights down the road, I don't know, or some other stuff, but I'll probably do some normal recordings. They just won't be as common as like live streams now, unless obviously I have like some error where I just can't stream for some reason, and so I just record because of that. So anyway, with that said, peace out, have a lovely day, hope you enjoy Elden Ring, or whatever you're playing today, and I will see you around. Peace out.